Hello, welcome to Girl Let's Talk. I'm your host, Erica Milbourne, and I want to thank you for joining me this evening. Today we're going to go a little different direction than we normally go. We're not going to have a businesswoman on. We're not going to have a woman on that's talking about her plight or, life circumstances. Today we're going to have a guest that is near and dear to my heart, and we're going to discuss a subject that actually affects millions of Americans across the country. If it doesn't affect you directly, it affects someone that you know, a friend, a family member, a coworker. We've all come into contact with someone that is dealing with diabetes, whether it's juvenile diabetes, which is also known as type 1 diabetes, or diabetes type 2. So my guest today is my nephew, Martin Dunns. Martin, thank you for joining me tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. And I'm going to share this with you as well, our viewers. When I received Martin's GoFundMe account, because Marty is in need of a kidney transplant as well as a pancreas transplant, I knew immediately that I had to, one, bring awareness to diabetes and some of the symptoms and side effects that you experience when you do become diagnosed with diabetes. So oftentimes, we run into adults that say, oh, I can't eat that, I can't eat this, or, I have to watch my sugar intake because they're older and they're dealing with it. But Martin, you were first diagnosed with juvenile diabetes at the age of 5.
Right.
5 years old, your life just changed. You go from eating ice cream and cake and going to birthday parties and being a regular child to now realizing that your whole life has been turned upside down at the age of 5. So when you were first diagnosed, and I don't know if you can remember and recall clearly, what were some of the circumstances around you being diagnosed with juvenile diabetes at the age of 5?
I remember being very confused. Like you said, everything just changes, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't eat certain things. Why do I got to take these needles? It just didn't make sense to me. I remember feeling very different from everybody, and it was scary.
I can imagine it being scary at the age of 5. You're now being shown needles, and I remember you had the little vials that you had actually two different vials. I think one was for when you were up, one was for when you were down.
One was long lasting and one was short acting. So like if I needed to bring my sugar down right now, I would take the fast acting.
Right. So I think at 5 years old that would be confusing. Like now you have to be aware of how your body feels, which some of us don't even pay attention. We're moving, and before we know it, we're sick. We didn't even pay attention to any of the signs. So at 5 years old, being diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, and now you have to recognize where you are, how you're feeling, and now you have to worry about, taking needles. Like, how scary is that just in itself? And you learn to give yourself those needles at a very young age.
Right. Yep.
So how scary was that?
It was very scary. If I make a mistake, what's going to happen to me? Just don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But I had a good support team. My grandma helped me a lot. Aunt Marty. So eventually, I got it.
So that's one of the things, dealing with diabetes in all, whether it's juvenile diabetes, type 1 diabetes, or even type 2, you need a support system around you. I know that when we realized you were sick, well, we really didn't realize you were sick until you were sick. We were in Disney World.
Right.
We were, as a family, having a great time. We're in the park, and every time you would drink something, because you were like, I'm thirsty. This is a 5-year-old. I'm thirsty. We give you something to drink, and within seconds, you're running to the restroom. And each one of us was taking you like, oh my God, again? We'd take a drink, get on a ride, have to get off the ride and run to the restroom. And it was almost like, are you serious? Do you really have to go again? Back then we didn't know what was going on. And parents, that's one of the things you definitely want to be aware of, the symptoms, the signs. That was one of them. Right. Do you recall feeling any other way other than having to use, us running you back and forth to the restroom and feeling very thirsty?
Just feeling really thirsty, going to the bathroom, clammy feeling like in my hands, real sweaty, which, I mean, in Florida, you don't really notice the sweating.
Exactly.
Part, but that is a symptom.
Okay.
That's really what I felt at the time.
Okay. So what I did was I realized that, so type 1 diabetes is also called, it's being insulin dependent. Juvenile diabetes fall under type 1 because it's usually juvenile, starts with at a very young age. It develops in children, teens, and young adults, but can happen actually at any age. So if you're noticing that you're, feeling any of these symptoms, real thirsty, and it could be other things going on with you, but just keep in mind that's a sign. Real thirsty. If you're back and forth to the restroom, and I mean as soon as you drink, you have to go. You want to make sure that you pay attention. Tell your doctor. One of the things that we recommended with type 1 diabetes, because that is less common than type 2 diabetes. About 5 to 10% of people with diabetes have type 1. So it's not your most common type is type 2. So you want to be aware that type 1 is not as common, but it's the most severe. Don't get me wrong, diabetes is severe in any level, type 1 or type 2, but type 1 is considered the most severe. And currently, there's no way to prevent type 1 diabetes. There's just no way. I know in our family, we have a history of diabetes, whether it's, grandmoms, aunts, family members. So, it's just, and the good thing about it is it can be treated. So
yeah, and I think that's like a big confusion. A lot of people say it's, if you don't eat a lot of candy or stuff, you'll be okay, but that's not true. You can still get diabetes, type 1 diabetes.
Right, because it's a lot of times, and I was looking because I wanted to make sure that when I'm speaking, I'm clear. Diabetes, you can get that genetically. So it can be your genetic makeup, if it runs in your family. It's just like when the doctors ask you, what is your family history? It's very important that you know your family history and that you can relay that to the doctor because that's how, it can be detected. They know to look for these things because it does run in your family. Marty, about how many different insulins or medications can you say you've been on? Because you've had the needle, you've had the pump, because you can't take pills when you're in type 1. So let's get rid of that myth. If you're a type 1 diabetes, you cannot take the medication as far as pill type because by the time the pill gets into your system or you get into your stomach, the acids actually destroy the pill and it doesn't have a chance to get into your blood system. So at type 1, you have to do needle or you have to do pumps. How many different insulins can you say that you might have been on in your time since 5 years old to now? He's 32 now.
Oh, man. Right now I'm currently on 3 different type of insulins. In all, I'd have to say about 8 or 9, maybe. Different types. You've
tried about every.
Yep, I've had the insulin pump. I've done syringes. I've done insulin pens. I've done different brands of insulin. So yeah, I'll say about 8 or 9.
8 or 9. I know. I remember once you had one that was like on your stomach.
Yeah, the insulin pump.
That was like the insulin pump there. And where do you have it now?
I just have the insulin pen now.
Insulin pen. Yeah. Okay. And so you have the pump. You have pens. Now, as far as, is it easier now for you to check your levels? Because so many times with people with diabetes, they are sticking their fingers, pricking their fingers, and you always watch TV and it says, oh, you don't have to prick anymore. You don't have to prick anymore. I remember 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, your poor little fingers, we would prick them and getting the blood to flow would be like, oh my goodness. And so now how do you check your levels?
I have the Dexcom, which you don't have to prick your finger. It's so much easier. You just push a button and it tells you what your blood sugar is. If your blood sugar is going low, it alerts you. If your blood sugar is going high, it will alert you. So it's a lot easier.
So it's a lot easier. Well, that's good because it's very difficult to tell a child, now we're going to prick your finger. And so many households are going through it because there's a lot of children that do develop juvenile diabetes, and the parents have to figure out now how to go through all the stages we went through. The confusion. It's time to test. And I think you did very well, though. I think you as a young child, and all the other kids were running playing, all your cousins running, playing, and having a good time, and you had to stop sometimes. Like, what would you consider to be the most stressful part of being a child with diabetes?
Having to watch what I eat. As a kid, you want to eat whatever you want to eat. You
Right.
want to eat that ice cream, that cake and stuff, and you can't do it.
Can't do it.
And especially if you don't understand why you can't do it. It's like, well, I want it. So why can't I have it?
Right.
And I couldn't.
Well, I know that's a challenge, because there's a lot of adults that have diabetes that really find it difficult to manage what they eat. They're like, oh, I can't eat that? Oh, yes, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to have it. I've had people actually say to me, I'm going to eat it now and I'll just cover later. What does that mean, to cover later?
That means to take your insulin, but that's not a good thing for your body, because it already affects your body. It can affect your body that fast. So taking the insulin after you eat it is not really a good choice.
Wow. Well, I think that's one of the things that we definitely want to recommend, is that you do doctor follow-ups. How important has it been for you to have a medical team around you that has been supportive and actually active in your treatment plan?
It's a very good thing. I get my feet checked, my eyes checked. I go to my endocrinologist for my diabetes every 3 months. Kidney doctor, that's very important. Don't wait until you start getting sick or feeling sick to go check with the kidney doctor, because it might already be too late. And they've been helping me. They've been helping me a lot.
Oh, that's good. So definitely you want to have your health care team should consist of a primary care doctor, a foot doctor. That's very important. So many times you see people that have amputees that have lost their feet or a toe, or up their legs. So your foot doctor is very important to put on your medical team. A dentist. See a dentist. How important is it for you to see your dentist as part of your care when it comes to your diabetes?
It's also very important. You don't want any infections. Infections are bad for diabetics. So if you get an infection in your mouth, you gotta see a dentist. Yeah.
Okay. So dentist, eye doctor. A lot of diabetics have eye problems where they even lose their sight.
Right.
So it's so important to have an eye doctor on your team. You want to have a registered dietitian and nutritionist on your team. And most importantly, not only working with your pharmacist to make sure you're getting the right medication, the right needles if you have needles that you have to have, but you want to make sure that you have diabetes education. So you want to be educated on diabetes and how it affects the body. And I think by saying that, that's going to take us to our first break, because when we come back, we want to talk about how diabetes has affected your whole body. Because even though we're talking about diabetes right now, we have such a bigger picture that we're dealing with and that we're working on Martin with, as far as getting him to being healthy and whole. So we'll be right back after these commercials. Please don't go away. You'll be with me and my guest, Martin Dunns.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Brixton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Welcome back to Girl Let's Talk. I'm your host, Erica Milbourne, and my guest tonight is Marty Dunns. Martin is dealing with juvenile, well, it's type 1 now, but it started off as juvenile diabetes, which has now covered under, because of his age, it's now considered type 1 diabetes. And we were talking about, you know, what brought us up and led us up to this point. Martin is now 32 years old. He was first diagnosed at the age of 5 with juvenile diabetes, and immediately was taken to insulin as far as needles at the age of 5. So Martin, feeling confused and whatnot with the insulin, or just having to take the whole regimen of insulin shots, watching what you eat, testing, over the years, have doctors warned you as to what some of the side effects could be from these levels of insulin that you have had to take to maintain your health?
Yeah, they warned me. They told me I can go blind. I can lose a limb, like my feet, so I got to take care of my feet. Also, I can have kidney failure and lead to dialysis.
Okay.
So
with that being said, Martin, and I have to do this warning right now. Martin is my nephew, so if you didn't hear that in the first segment, he is my nephew. He's been like a son to me. I've helped raise him, from birth. And his mom was supposed to be with us tonight. Unfortunately, she was not able to attend, so it's just two of us. We got this. But right now, Marty is in stage renal failure.
yes.
And he's in need of a kidney transplant. So he does have his mom. She has agreed to be his donor. So we want to say yay to that. Thank you, Shanell.
Thank you.
So Martin is cleared to get his kidney transplant. However, Martin has been out of work since January of 2022. As we all know, to be alive is to have bills. To have your doctors all in Philadelphia requires transportation. It requires money for tolls. It requires gas. It requires, parking once you get into Philadelphia. There's so much involved with that. So, Martin, now that you are in end-stage renal failure, needing a kidney transplant, how many days a week do you take dialysis?
Well, I started off doing it 3 days a week. I was on something called hemodialysis, where I had the catheter in my neck, and I would go to the clinic and do it 3 days a week. I now do peritoneal dialysis, which is every day. I do it every day at night for about 8.5 hours, and I hook up to a machine and do it while I sleep. Okay.
So you're doing dialysis treatments 7 days a week. Isn't that excessive? What is your level of function? Are they telling you what your kidney level function should be, and what is it for you to be taking it 7 days a week, basically 9 hours a day?
There's not much function left. I do pee. I do go to the bathroom a little bit, but not where they want it to be. They go by a creatinine level to judge where your kidney function is. I can't remember what my last one was, but it was pretty high. So it's not coming down. So that's why I do 7 days a week.
Okay. So you're in renal failure as far as kidney failure. You're diabetic since the age of 5. Hypertension, chronic pneumonia. So he keeps getting pneumonia. Sleep apnea has been added.
Yep.
This is all at the age of 32. All at the age of 32. I can't imagine. Weakened heart strength. So your heart is weakened over the years.
Yep, that's due to the diabetes and dialysis.
And you've been listed with what CVID? What is
CVID? Is immune deficiency.
Okay.
That's why I get sick so easily and get the chronic pneumonias.
Okay.
Because my body doesn't fight off infection.
Okay. So I don't even know where to begin. I just think from 5 years old, being diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, at the age of 32, being told now that you have urine renal failure, so that your kidneys are not functioning. You've also been advised that you need a pancreas transplant?
Yes, that's for the diabetes. That'll actually cure the diabetes.
That'll cure the diabetes. So you're being told that if you get a new pancreas, then you could be diabetic free.
Yes.
Which is a goal, because the insulin, all this insulin that you're taking, is creating other health problems now. So that's one thing that you definitely, for our viewers, if you are a diabetic and you are taking insulin, you want to, one, do all you can, be health conscious, be aware, so that you can reduce the amount of insulin you're putting into your body. Unfortunately, the body can't handle, it functions with the insulin, but it creates other hardships in the body. As we see, you're dealing with now kidney failure. We're going to show you a video, and we'll put that on now.
Hey everyone, this is my big brother Marty. He's extremely loving, very caring, and one of the funniest people I know. Marty also has been battling medical troubles since childhood, and they recently came to a frightening head. As he waits for his kidney and pancreas transplants, I'm hoping we can shower him with some much-deserved community support. He absolutely hates asking for help, but his situation has become very urgent. Feel free to check out his GoFundMe page for more details or donate directly to him via Cash App. And please know we appreciate any and everything you can do. Thank you so much.
So we're asking you to visit Martin's GoFundMe page to assist him and help him. Martin has been out of work since January 2022. He has applied for disability, because that's the first question everyone wants to know, what's going on with disability. He was given short-term disability, which was what, for a short term?
Yeah, you can only collect, I believe it was about $10,000 from short term, and then you have to apply for long term.
Okay. So since 2002, you have received $10,000, basically, for assistance. And now he is in need of your help. And this is where you come in, our viewers. Martin is a resident of Millville, New Jersey, a lifelong resident. He stayed for a while in Delaware as a child, but has been basically a lifelong resident here in Millville, New Jersey. He is a member of our community. He wants to work. He want to work. He's looking to work, wants to work. Unfortunately, due to his health condition, as soon as he goes to work, he has to come right out due to pneumonia, due to his diabetes, due to his kidney failure. We're asking you if you can. If you can't, then just share this information with someone to please help Marty's GoFundMe. If you wish to donate to him directly, you can send him directly through Cash App, $ Martin Dunns 11. All donations would be appreciated. Or you can go to his GoFundMe page, gofund.me.9F752EDB. All donations will go towards Martin's daily living, as well as keeping him with a vehicle to travel back and forth to Pennsylvania for treatment care and to see his doctors, co-pays, medicine, and any other necessities that are needed for daily living. Once again, $10,000 for a year of living I don't think anyone's living off of that.
No.
I don't think anyone's living off of that. No. So, you know, you come to the cafe and eat. You come to my cafe and eats, but, you know, there's so much more necessities than food that people need.
Right.
And if anyone can help, that's what we're asking you for, to help. So, you know, when you see that video, how does that make you feel to know that your sister took her time out to put that together for you, to let the world know that her brother is, you know, dealing with something that's critical?
I'm very grateful that she did it, because like she said in the video, I don't really like asking for help. I don't like feel like I'm a bother to somebody else. So I probably would have never did it for myself. So she went out of her way and did it for me, and I greatly appreciate it. I also greatly appreciate everybody who's already donated. And even if you haven't donated, the kind words that I've gotten, the shares that I've gotten, I'm very thankful for it.
Well, I mean, that says it all. If you cannot donate, that's fine. You know, we understand, because everyone is dealing with something, whether it's health, whether it's work-related, whether it's just expenses, you know, the high cost of everything that's going on. So we definitely understand if you're not able to donate, that's fine. However, if you can share, please share the video. I will post the link in the comments section. Please share it. Share the GoFundMe. We're trying to help this young man. Like I said, he's a member of our community. And so many times I do shows for other people. I come on here and I promote someone else's GoFundMe, or I come on here and I promote someone else's requests for help, or they're having a walk, and I come on here and I assist someone else. And when I thought about it, when I saw, you know, the GoFundMe video, immediately I said, you know, I do this so many times for other people, and I go and I cover their event. I get sponsors for teams, and I rally up people to grow their businesses, and I do so much to encourage other people. I felt as though it was no more than right for me to do something to encourage my people, my nephew, my son, because you're like a son to me. And you know, so many times people see you walking around thinking, oh, you're fine. He looks healthy. You know, you're sitting up here talking to me now, and there's someone watching saying, he doesn't look sick to me. He looks fine. But you never know what someone's going through.
Right.
You know, like you said, you didn't want to ask for help. And you didn't want people to know that you are sick. I have people saying, well, that's, you know, his private information. But your private information is something that not only you're going through, there's someone else going through the same thing. You know how you always think you're alone?
Right.
You're not alone. So we are asking you, if you have time, if you have the means, if you have the ability to donate, please do so. Once again, it's $ Martin Dunns 11 if you would like to send him a donation directly through Cash App. Otherwise, GoFundMe is gofund.me.9F752EDB. All donations would be appreciated to help this young man. I mean, no trouble. He's not a trouble in the community. He's a young man that wants to work, wants to have a home, wants to have a family. And unfortunately, due to medical issues starting at the age of 5, it has changed his whole life. And here we are today. So we're going to go to a commercial. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. We'll have more conversation with Martin Dunns.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Vineland, New Jersey is a place rich in innovation and deeply rooted in hometown traditions. The city's agricultural legacy, where brands like Welch's and Progresso originated, lives on today alongside companies producing the critical pharmaceutical packaging we depend on. While Vineland continues to grow, it retains a quality of life enriched by cultural diversity and an abundance of nature's playgrounds to enjoy.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. We have something for everyone at vinelandcity.org.
Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Hello.
Welcome back to Girl, Let's Talk. We switched it up a little bit this week. You know, we didn't have a female guest on to talk about her business or life consequences or just things that have happened in her life. We thought we would talk about something that was more personal to me and that affected millions of Americans across the country, whether it's you yourself directly, a family member, a friend, a coworker, or just someone you deal with on a daily basis. So today we are talking with my nephew, Martin Dunns. And once again, Martin, I'm so glad you're able to come in tonight and share with us.
Thanks for
I know
having
this
me.
is a very private issue for you. But recently, in recent days, your private struggle has become a public awareness, I want to call it, because unfortunately, people do not realize that diabetes is so much more than don't eat cake, don't eat ice cream, don't eat bread, don't eat mac and cheese. It goes so much deeper than that, because you can watch everything you eat, and unfortunately, the medication that you take to manage and maintain can cause other issues and other concerns.
Right.
So we're here because Martin is in need of a kidney transplant as well as a pancreas transplant. If you didn't hear in the previous segment, Martin is on dialysis 7 days a week. So that's every single day, 365 days a year. And he treats from approximately 8.5 to 9 hours a night. If that's not a lot, think again. That is a lot, a lot. That means that your functioning is basically almost not functioning.
Right.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that your kidney is, that you're not functioning? This is a need that your body has. It has to process, that function.
Right.
So, when you hear when the doctor said, you know what, we have to do a kidney transplant, you're not functioning, you have to go on dialysis, what did you think? He's 32 now. So what did you think when he told you that? What, a year ago? Has it been a year yet?
It's been a year.
A year. What did you think a year ago?
I was scared. I was scared of how long am I going to have to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to develop even more problems? Who's going to donate me a kidney? That was the biggest thing I was worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going to get a kidney from?
Okay. So how did you start the search? I need a kidney. What do I do? So what was the process for that?
Well, originally I was just going to do the workup to go onto the list, and who knows how long that would be before they find a match for me. But then my mom volunteered to donate me her kidney.
Awesome, awesome. So a family kidney, your mom stepped up and said, you know what, I'll give you that kidney. How long is this process? Because some people think, he found a match. They said okay, wow, you go today. It doesn't work. How does that work?
It
Like, what's
doesn't
the
work
process?
like that at all.
What's the process?
I thought I was going to have my kidney a year ago, and still waiting.
Still waiting.
So they have to, first I have to go through numerous tests. Before my mom even starts testing, I have to pass all my tests. Then she has to go through her tests. And then insurance plays a big role in it too, because I got cleared, she got cleared, then my insurance said no, they don't cover surgeries in New Jersey. So then I had to go
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Rewind. So you live in New Jersey.
Yes.
Your mom lives in New Jersey.
Yes.
You get cleared in what, Pennsylvania? Or where do you get cleared? You get cleared here in New Jersey. Get cleared for surgery in New Jersey, and then the insurance company steps in. After all the clearances, everything is good. You think you're, all I need is a date to go. The insurance company steps in and says what?
They don't cover surgeries. They'll cover the treatment for dialysis, but they won't cover the surgery for the transplant.
Here in New Jersey.
Here in New Jersey. So
wow.
That's how I ended up at Penn Medicine. I had to go there and then I had to start the process all over again.
So you were on the track, rolling right along. Your mom was in. You're all in. You're moving forward. You're just like excited. Okay, the hurdle is over, because most people are on the list forever. It seems like waiting for a kidney. It could take some time. So you get you get everything lined up, and then the insurance company. And I'm not bashing insurance companies, even though this is bash worthy. The insurance company steps in and says, no, we don't cover the kidney transplant in New Jersey. We'll cover it if you go to Philly.
Right.
But we'll cover your treatments in New Jersey.
Right.
Okay. So then you have to start the process not in the middle, not where you left off, but from the beginning.
From the beginning. And then it gets worse, because that's when they discovered other health problems like the CVID. They had to start doing treatments for that and get that under control, and then test my lungs for different diseases before I can get cleared. Okay. So that just dragged it out even longer.
And is that where they realized that you had sleep apnea? What other ailments did they find? Don't get me wrong, this could be a blessing in disguise, because then they were able to handle other issues and address other issues. But what other ailments or issues or medical concerns did they find when they started the process all over again?
They found the CVID, the immune deficiency. They found the sleep apnea. They also found obstruction in my sinuses, my nose, where they had to do surgery to straighten my nose and clean out my sinuses to help me breathe better also. Okay.
So have they found what's been causing pneumonia and different things? Or is that part of the whole sinus action, or what's going on there?
The pneumonia is part of the CVID, the immune deficiency.
Okay.
So I do a treatment once a month. I do therapy once a month for the immune deficiency, and that should keep me from getting the pneumonias.
Okay. So how many times in the past year have you been diagnosed with pneumonia? Because I know for a while you were in and out of the hospital.
At least 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, I usually get it like 3 times a year at least.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm always in the hospital for it.
So this is and I laid this groundwork for our viewers because I want you to understand why help is critical. Because even when he was able to work, he had to come out of work and go in the hospital for pneumonia, for other issues. And it's been about 2 weeks now. They broke your nose. So he's looking great now, guys, because 2 weeks ago he was like a chipmunk. And I can say that because he's my nephew. But about 2 weeks ago they had broken his nose, and his whole face is swollen. I said, how do you feel? He said, I feel like I've been in a fight. And I'm like, well, I guess you have, sort of, kind of. But they broke your nose so you could, because you were having a breathing issue.
Yes.
And you said that, was it infection? What was going on?
I had a lot of infected tissue in like my sinuses. It wasn't draining correctly, so I kept getting like sinus infections.
So how can you go to work? I mean, that's,
Right.
And like I said, I want our viewers to understand that so many things have happened to you medically from the age of 5 till now. Okay. whether it's adjusting to an insulin pump, whether it's adjusting to pricking your fingers, whether it's adjusting to now the machine that you can just, check your levels, so forth, whether it's, I remember you had the pump on your stomach and it's just one thing after another, and it's just, now you have they first put the dialysis in your neck, right?
Right.
Now it's here in your chest area?
It's in my stomach.
In your stomach. Now it's in your stomach. Has it been up here? What they have up here? A line?
It started in my neck and then it hung down.
Hung down. Wow. So how can you work?
Right. Some in and out.
How was that? How was that? Because so many people look and say, "Oh, you look healthy. Go to work." And they think, "Oh, you just want a handout." No, this isn't about a handout.
No, I try to go to work. I like work. I like my job. I'm a phlebotomist. I like meeting the people that I work with and the donors that come in. I like interacting with them. So I'd rather be at work. I don't want any handouts.
Right. I'd rather you be at work too. You can come work for me. Like, I need help. But I definitely understand. So this isn't about a handout. This is about a hand up, helping your fellow citizen, helping your fellow American, helping this young man get help, because no one can survive on $10,000. Disability started with short-term disability. Once that was exhausted, and don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone from disability calling me, writing me saying, "Oh, that's not this, that's not that." We're not pointing blames. We're not saying you should do more. We're saying that short-term disability was exhausted, regardless if it's exactly 10,000, 10,001, 11, whatever. That's not the issue here. The issue is he went on it. He exhausted it. Now he's applying for full long-term disability. Did they tell you how long that could take to get that approved?
It could be 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year. So that's another 6 months to a year that he can go with no income. Even if he gets a transplant, there's no guarantee that he'll be able to function on a daily basis with the other issues that he has. And he has to hopefully not reject the kidney. So, I just hear people say some of the weirdest things, like, "Oh, well, once you get your kidney, you can run." That's not true. What things have you not been able to do that you used to do since you've been diagnosed?
Haven't been able to work, obviously. I used to love going to the park, playing basketball, different sports. Haven't been able to do that. Go to the gym, go on vacation. I could go on vacation, they said, but the hassle of bringing my machine and bringing the boxes, the medicines, and having to be on the machine by a certain time, I wouldn't even be able to enjoy it. So I haven't been able to do any of that stuff.
Yeah. And prior to this diagnosis and your body going through these changes, and with the with your kidneys, we traveled.
All the time.
We traveled all the time. We would be like, "Oh, we're out of here. Let's go to Florida." It would be nothing to pack a bag and shoot down to Florida and, stay for a weekend and come back up. Right. Now you cannot you can do that, but like you said, the hassle and with the way, everything is set up, having to, go through security and, make it TSA and what do you have in this bottle and what's that bottle? It's just a hassle. So it's like you don't even have the energy. And then once we get there, if you're treating for 9 hours a night, your party's over at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Wherever we are, we have to get back. We have to end that.
Right.
So you can't even really enjoy a vacation.
Right.
So there's so much around this. Like you started off with diabetes at the age of 5. Now at the age of 32, it's like the balloon has met its level, because now everything has come together. And it's like a balloon. It's in a bursting stage.
Right.
And a kidney is required. This surgery is needed. It has to be done. And you need help. And that's why we're here. We're here to share Martin's story. Martin is waiting his transplant. Even though he has a donor, the insurance company has made it so he had to start all over. He's done that. He started all over. He's in the process now. However, even though he's in the process, he still needs to live today, and he needs your help. If you can donate, Cash App, $Martin Dunns 11, or go to his GoFundMe page, gofund.me.9F752EDB. let's help this young man. You know, let's have a heart, and let's realize that no one can live off of $10,000 in a year. And we could be off, like I said, a penny or two, but no one can live off of that. And if you've experienced the egg prices of 2023, you know that prices have increased and that is no money for anyone. And I'm not just advocating for him, I'm advocating for anyone that is in need, have a need. Get out there, get it together as far as get help, ask for help, because a lot of these agencies are dropping the ball. They're not intentionally trying to, not help people. Unfortunately, a lot of the agencies just can't handle it all. The waiting list to get in, people say, have you applied for this? Have you applied for that? How easy has it been to apply for stuff to get help? Has it been as easy as they say it is? Or is there a wait? Is there appointments?
It's always a wait. It's always a process. And there's no guarantee they're going to give it to you. Sometimes you have to appeal it. So, but I've gotten food stamps. So I will say I've gotten that.
Okay, and what is that? Like, what, if you don't mind me asking, is that
$250
$250 a month,
right,
to eat?
Right.
Okay, so no income, no job, and $250 is all you're getting to eat. No other benefits or medical? Have they been able to give you medical? And if it's too personal, you stop me, because I just want people to know that there are agencies that can help you. We don't want to bash anyone from helping. However, you need help with everything. So $250 a month, great for food stamps, but you still need transportation to and from Philadelphia, gas, toll, because you can't give a food stamp card to family. Well, you can't give a Family First card to the toll keeper and say, "Here, take the $5 off this card." It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
So, even though we find ways to make laughter and light of it, Martin has missed a lot. His life has changed from how he knew it. Like I said, we traveled. He played basketball. He played at Cumberland County College. He used to go to the park here, Millville, Vineland, different parks, and play. Go to the gym and work out. And when you are in kidney failure, and it's not everyone, so there are some people that can still maintain and manage, you do become tired more quickly, you would say. More tired, winded.
Yep.
And how about even working in the yard? Because I called him over and said, "Marty, I need your help. Can you come help me break some leaves?" He was like, "I'm tired." How fast do you become winded and tired to where you cannot perform daily activities?
Very fast. You're just not as strong as you used to be. Very lethargic, and just want to sit down and rest. Yeah.
Wow. If you could do one thing, and I mean, before the kidney transplant, anything, if you could do one thing right now that you used to do and enjoyed, what would that be?
Go to the park and play basketball. It's just something I really love doing. And I haven't been able to play basketball in over a year now.
Okay.
I tried to do it, but it's just, I had no energy. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Yeah. Wow. Well, one of the goals and things that I hope and pray for you is that you will be able to resume life as you knew it. Even if you're not 100%, if you could just get to 90% of enjoying life the way you used to, that would be my hopes for you. So right now we're going to go to a quick commercial. We'll be right back after these messages, and we're going to finalize our conversation with Martin with good hopes and prayers. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco-Louise Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco-Louise Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Brixton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
Welcome back to Girl, Let's Talk. And today's show, you know, it's had me a little emotional, and, you know, because my guest, Marty Dunns, is like a son to me. You know, I've been with you ever since you were born. Mm-hmm. You know, we came to the hospital and, you know, seeing you laying there, this little baby, and, you know, we had the opportunity to raise you and be a part of your life. And I've watched you struggle. And I've watched the good times, because it hasn't all been bad. Right. You know, we've had some really good times, and I've watched you grow with the, you know, and become very mature with your situation as far as juvenile diabetes and now type 1 diabetes. So, you know, I have to tell you that I give you a lot of prayers, because I know it takes strength to adjust at such a young age and to be able to be mature about it. Because, you know, mm-hmm. I've seen you out, and you have to take your shot while you're getting ready to eat. We be out to dinner and stuff. And you've been very mature about it. And I want to just tell you that, you know, everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out, you know, whether we raise the money that we're trying to raise to help you with this journey or not, everything's going to be okay. You know, you're going to get your new kidney, and we're going to get your new pancreas, and we're going to be running. Mm-hmm. We're going to be traveling. We're going to get it together. I mean, I hope you believe that.
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. Because you do have a good support team around you. I know that when my mom was alive, she passed in 2012, your grandmom, she
Mm-hmm.
was right there. You know, she was with you through the whole task. And I call it a task because it became a job almost, you know. It became a job. Mm-hmm. But she was with you through the whole diagnosis portion, all the way up to your care and learning how to care for yourself. And I've watched you be strong, like when we've had birthday parties, and with the cake, you were a little kid, and you'd be like, no, I can't have it. And I'm like, wow, you have such self-control. Were you sneaking at some point?
I have before.
Yeah, before.
I've learned not to do that. I've gotten myself sick a couple times, and I've learned quickly not to do that.
Because I've seen you with self-control where you're like, no, I'm good. And I'm sitting there saying, like, wow, like, I have no self-control. You know, I own a whole cafe/bakery, and I'm tasting cake every day. You know, I'm like ice cream crazy. And I've watched you literally say no. And I think that's amazing that as a child you were able to say no, you know, to different things. So I think that's really good. And you know, there's people watching that have children that are dealing with juvenile diabetes. So let's start there. What would you say to that child, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, if you could speak to children that are dealing with juvenile diabetes? What would be your words of advice or encouragement to them?
You can live a normal mostly normal, happy life. You just don't make it harder on yourself. Eat what you're supposed to eat, listen to your doctors, listen to your parents, and you'll be okay. You'll be able to make it through.
Okay. And so that was to someone dealing with juvenile diabetes. Now, if you were talking to someone, a youth or a young person, let's say 25 to 35, that has been told you need a new kidney, your function level is almost, what would you say to that person?
Even before you get to that point, I would say don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow, because you never know how fast it can affect you. You got to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. They tell you to take certain medicines, take the medicines however you're told to take it. Because like I said, you never know when it's going to affect you, and then it'll be too late. There's nothing you can do. So take care of what you have to take care of today. Don't put it off for another day.
Well, thank you so much for your positivity and your words of encouragement. I really do believe that this should be the beginning, not the end. Whether you get your kidney today, tomorrow, next month, or next year, I feel as though you really need to put time in to, one, encourage young children, your platform. Maybe it's time to start your platform for what you've been through, because you know what? Inside of each of us is a book, and I know your story. So I know you have a book inside of you. I think it's time to start that journey, whether it's a children's illustrated book helping children deal with diabetes, and at the age of 5, learning how to do that whole thing, and like you said, you can live a normal, healthy life. Who said eating candy is normal? No one. So, the life you lived was normal for you. It might have seemed abnormal because everyone's around eating the wrong thing, because we really shouldn't be eating sugar. Like it's so addictive. So maybe it's time for you to release your story, whether it's about juvenile diabetes, whether it's about your transition in life as far as, from, growing up from a child to a young man, and to where you are now, dealing with the idea that, I cannot live the life I used to live because I do need a new kidney, and I am dealing with kidney failure. But you're still positive. There's times where I think you should be crying and you're still cutting jokes with me, And I want to thank you, though, for being positive and for still holding your head up and for knowing that brighter days are yet to come. So I thank you. Thank you for coming on my show and sharing your intimate story, because it is intimate for you and it's personal. But I thank you for, letting all of our viewers know that there is hope, and not to give up. And if you're a parent dealing with a child with juvenile diabetes, be patient. I think that's a good word to use. Yep. Be patient, be understanding, be kind, be gentle. And in closing, if you'd like to donate to Martin, he's been out of work since January of 2022. He's exhausted short-term disability. He's waiting on long-term disability, which would take anywhere from 6 months to a year. You can donate. His Cash App is $Martin Dunns 11. Please visit his GoFundMe page at gofund.me.9F752EDB. Once again, that's Cash App at $Martin Dunns 11. GoFundMe at gofund.me.9F752EDB. This is a community effort. This is a group effort. It takes a village, and that's what we're asking you to help. So that's it. Anything you want to finish with, or any final thoughts, or any thank yous?
Just once again, I want to thank everybody who's donated, who's reached out to me with encouraging words, that's donated to the GoFundMe. I really appreciate it. It makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel like there's actually people out there that care. And if you have a young kid, or if you got diabetes and you need advice, you can always reach out to me on Facebook, Martin Dunns, and I'll reply back if you need anything. So,
well, thank you so much. Well, that's Girl Let's Talk. This week is a little bit different. Every week is not going to be the same. This is a tabletop conversation for girls, boys, men, women. Anyone can be a part of this conversation. Please leave your thoughts on our Facebook page at Quinn Broadcasting. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on local channel 22. Please share this information. Hope you have a great night, and I'm your host, Erica Milbourne. Girl, let's talk. See you next time. Same place, same location.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.